Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Greg Drummonds. I am a professional golfer out of Central Florida. And today's video, I wanted to play 9 holes in my home course and show you kind of each shot and what goes through my mind before I hit the shot. I was able to play a number of holes yesterday by myself and tried to film every shot. So what do you say we head to the first tee? Alright, the first hole at Collina is a 461-yard par 4. Flag's back left today, so anywhere in the fairway right of those trees is going to give us a good look. Flag's pretty accessible with a lot of green on the way up to it. Fortunately, this ball had some hook to it and ended up going left of those trees and down into the valley. Alright, this shot's 148 yards to that back left pin. It's got 142 to clear this ridge. It's a very tight lie, but I'm just going to try to hit a 9-iron. And unfortunately, I caught it thin, cleared this little bunker, and ran all the way to the back right of the green. With this putt, it's pretty uphill. And unfortunately, it was way more uphill than I thought. And I played about 4 feet of break from there and left myself about 12 feet still to go. The downside is I didn't get to see any of this putt roll past the hole. So this is going to be a new putt. Try to find the line here and just kind of cozy it. Still downhill. I expected that first one to roll out more. For the par save. And unfortunately get a lip out. So not an ideal start. Picking up a little bogey on the first hole. Hole 2 is a 600-yard par 5. Which really you got to try to avoid the bunkers. Carry the first one, avoid the ones on the left, and find the little fairway. And I absolutely piped this ball with a little bit of a draw. Maybe caught it just a hair low on the face, but right down the middle. Being 600 yards, I still had 300 yards left on this par 5. Plenty of running type room on the left, so I've got the 2-wood out here, and my goal is just to send it up the left side with a little fade. See how close we can get to that green. Pin's in the back right, so I like having plenty of green to work with here if I can. I caught this one a little stingy, downhill lie, ended up in a good spot. So the 2-wood got us pretty close to the green. Overall, this has 42 yards left. There's a big valley in this green that you really got to fly over, so I'm trying to hit a mid-height pitch shot that just carries that valley and then trickles itself up to the hole. It's a little uphill, so I can be a little aggressive. And I absolutely nipped this very well. Took a look at the hole, but oh yeah, set up a beautiful little 3-foot birdie putt. And you don't want to fall asleep on these. So I did make sure I found my line here. Had a little left to right. We got that bogey back that we lost on 1. Alright, even par, headed to 3. Hole number 3 is 474-yard par 4. There's a bunch of bunkers on the left. You got to carry it about 275 to get over this waste ravine here. Ideally, you want to put yourself in position right of those bunkers. There's a little sliver of fairway down that right side. We had a little wind in the back, so those bunkers on the left are still reachable. It's probably about 305 to carry, so we're going to go around them. And this drive was probably the best drive so far of the day between 1 and 2. Set us up nicely on the right side of the fairway. From here I had 148 back up the hill. Pin on the left, and this green is separated right in the middle by a ridge, so with this shot, I'm trying to just hit a little flighted draw that catches that ridge and releases itself back to the flag. We got it started on a really good line. Unfortunately, it didn't draw over, and it caught that ridge and trickled itself pin high, but on the wrong side of the green. So this is about a 65-foot putt. It's got about 4 foot of break and a ton of release down the hill afterwards. So we sent it out there. Unfortunately, it still wasn't high enough. Decent pace. We've got about 6 feet left here to save the par. Based on the previous putt, I had this one turning just a little bit back towards the right. Played it just outside of the left edge of the hole, slightly back up the hill. Once you get locked in, just roll it over the spot. And I'm not really sure how, but this putt didn't even move an inch. And as you can see, it just set itself on the lip. Now we're back to one of my least favorite holes on this golf course. It's a 241-yard par 3. The way the pin was positioned today in the front side, I had about 228. Now there was a little bit of wind coming in and off the right here, so I've got the 2-iron. In my mind, I'm going to try to sting this up the right side and let it take the fairway and run it down to the hole. This is not a very comfortable shot for me right now as we're going through some of these swing changes. As you can see me trying to find the 2-iron. Get comfortable. And I like this because it was a terrible backswing. So I tried to readjust. And here we go. Hit this one pretty knuckly. Unfortunately, I didn't get enough of it to clear this bunker on the left, and I overturned it. So now you can see me down in the bottom left corner. This is about a 35 to 40 yard bunker shot. Good news is there's a ridge in this green behind this flag. I didn't realize the camera didn't catch that, but 35, 40 yards, right at the max of my lob wedge coming out of the bunker. Tried to hit a beautiful blast. Catches the slope and just rips back below the hole. And you can see it settles itself to about 8 feet straight up the hill. Little attempt to save par. Coming off of 3, we're 1 over here. And really need to make this putt in order to keep us in a decent position to try to get some of these shots back with the coming holes. So like I said, we got about 7 feet up the hill. This one, similar to the putt I just missed, should slide just a hair. Trying to take the feedback from the previous putt to make sure that I find my line. And putting right now has just been a question mark for me. We get locked in here, and we just trickle it in. All right, moving on. All right, so good chance to recap. We've got bogey on 1, birdie on 2, bogey on 3, and par on 4. Puts us at 1 over as we head into the 487-yard par 4. This hole's a dog leg left. Again, wind coming off the right side here. It's about 310 to carry those bunkers on the left, so I don't mess with them. Usually try to hit a high draw here and just sling it around the corner. And before I hit this shot, I realized that I wasn't lining up square on any of the previous holes. Squared myself up here and absolutely bombed it. This ball extended itself past that bunker line, so it's about 305. From here we had 172 left to a front right pin. I've got 8-iron in hand. Again, the way this hole's angled, now the wind's a little bit at my back. There's also a ridge that splits this green about 45 degree angle from right to left and back to front. So you really want to miss this one on the right side of center. I'm aiming on the right edge of the green. I'm going to try to work a little draw back with the wind. Now that I've got my alignment figured out, this ball was absolutely pured. Baby draw, headed to the flag. I guess I threw a club twirl in. Left myself about 22, 23 feet down the hill. Slight left to right breaker. Greens out of Bella can be a little confusing, so I checked the yardage book or the green book on this one. Found a good line. I'm just going to try to cozy it down there and get it to trickle over that front edge. This is one of those putts that can run away from you if you run it 2 or 3 feet past the hole. So I'm just going to try to push it right over the front edge of the hole. Get us another birdie. The line's looking good. It's got good pace. And it just kind of hits a stopping point right in front of the hole. Dead center. We'll take that par on this hole. And let's go ahead and move on to number 6.
Send it. I won't hit them with the cart game.
6 was a fun hole today. I ended up joining up with a single that's playing behind me. We hit a little roadblock. There's a group in front of us that was doing some practice work. Being in the mid-afternoon, that's expected. The hole plays 358 yards from the tips, so I know I can't get to the green. Again, it's slightly elevated. you can hear me kind of say that their cart might be in danger. So I typically try to send this one up the center, up the right center with a little draw. Let's see how we do.
Yeah, oh my God, you said it.
I don't know if you could hear it, but I absolutely landed that ball in their cart, which is about 48 yards away from the green. So I love these little nippers, especially when the flag's kind of below me. So I'm going to try to send this over the ridge here with a little bit of check, see if I can get it to trickle down to the hole. It's really clean contact. Got over the ridge. You can see me kind of telling it to move a little bit to the right and go down. Doesn't quite get there. This is about 24 feet left for birdie here. Same putt I just had. And unfortunately, it just leaks out to the right. But we'll take a little tap in par there on 6 as we move over to 7. Number 7's a tough little par 3. That flag is way in the back left, and there's a ridge that separates the screen right in the middle. And if you don't get it over that ridge, putting to that back has about 6, 7, up to 10 feet of break. So I've got 4-iron from 227. I'm trying to sling a draw to that back corner and let the wind push it to the hole. And it's probably one of the best 4-irons I've hit in my life.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. I'll show you. You should all see this view. I mean, jeez. Wait till you guys see where it ended up. That was close. That was close.
Really proud of this shot. I'll let the commentary take over.
Don't know what the penalty is for holding a camera, but dang, that would have been awesome.
So now as we're in this up and down round back at even, we get to 8. Toughest hole on the course. Very long 521 yard par 4 with a dog leg left. Tight tee shot here from the back. Can't quite get up over to those bunkers on the left, so we send it down the right side. We hit this one well with just the tiniest feather draw. So we still have 192 yards left on this hole, so I've got a 6-iron here. On this shot, I'm trying to hit it up the right side of the green with a little flag stick draw. Everything releases down towards this hole normally. You can see I'm a little on my toes now that I'm watching this video, which probably results in this one-handed, hair-thin finish that doesn't turn over. Stayed real straight though, just came up a little short from the thin impact. This putt's a little quick. I've got it anticipated about 8 foot of break here. Just thinking it might catch some of this fringe and pull it over to the left. And it's just not turning. Kind of trickles itself towards the end. Left about 5.5 feet, so still a straight. Normally I'd line this up and mark it. Now that I'm playing with somebody, I just kind of stepped up in this practice round and tapped it. And yeah, there it goes. Well, unfortunately, my iPhone storage was full at this point, and it was late in the evening, and I decided not to go through and clean stuff up. Even par through 8. Good news is on 9, it's a par 5. It's a very easy par 5. I usually play it around, I don't know, 4.4 stroke average, somewhere around there. So I did make par, finished the round even with, what was it, 3 pars, 4 pars, something like that. So a lot of cleanup still to do. Like to see that the swing changes are making it in. Hit a bunch of good shots. And yeah, if you like this kind of content, let me know. And if you'd like different commentary, or if you'd like to know more about what's going on in my mind when I play, please subscribe or leave a comment below, and keep hitting them well. Thanks.